True TV, right?
Oh yeah, let's start.
Good evening. We're going to go ahead and get started for the June public meeting. My name is Ashley Cole, General Manager for the Fixed Route Service. And so we will open up the meeting now. I'll pass it over to Matt Wren, our Assistant General Manager of Operations.
Good evening, everyone. Get further away from the mic. I'm excited to say that the service increase started this past Saturday, along with Full City Race Day. So we had a little race in Durham, and we also had a service increase for the 4B and more frequency on the 5. We're excited to see how that works out for ridership and frequent trips up and down Roxborough Street going to Seven Oaks. And we also just want to give an update that we did have a recent 800 series bus have a ramp issue. That bus has been out of service, and a second one has that same problem, so we pulled that bus out of service too. So we're excited to see what the new service increase brings.
You said about that, I was on that bus that day. I'm sorry, it was disappointing.
As it relates to community events that we have in the month of June, we have the Community Resource Fair on June 13th. The Juneteenth celebration is on Wednesday, June 19th. And we have the Durham Refugee Film Screening on June 20th. And then the LGBTQ Durham Our Day, Our Resource event on the 27th. And then I will pass it over to Ms. Tara Walton.
Good afternoon. I'm Tara Walton. I'm the GM for Paratransit, GoDurham Access Paratransit Services. And the only update I want to give is that our website is currently up and running. So it's a lot of new things that we're doing with microtransit and other services that we offer. So please, if you get the opportunity, please go look at the GoDurham Access website. Thank you.
And then we're going to have the GoDurham city updates. Ms. Jennifer Green is going to give the city planning updates.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jennifer Green, and I am with the planning group in the transportation department. So we did a service change this past Saturday. Like Matt mentioned, this added additional service on Route 4. We call it the Route 4B. It follows the same path as the Route 4 does, all the way up to Seven Oaks, which is near the Riverside Shopping Center and the grocery store there. But that's only running from 2 to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. So looking ahead to the fall, we will be providing that 15-minute service starting in the morning. So all day long, we'll be running the 4B and the additional buses coming back downtown, so that there will be a bus every 15 minutes on the Route 4. That will really benefit folks who are going to Duke Regional Hospital, going to Northern High School, and folks who live up at JFK Towers, as well as the neighborhoods up there. So that's something that we're very excited about. We do have some budget updates, perhaps, that impact how service will be rolled out over the next year. And I will pass it over to Sean Egan, our transportation director, who just arrived.
Thanks, Jenny. Welcome, everyone. Sorry to be a few minutes late here. I wanted to take this opportunity to share with our riders and our community same information that I shared when I was speaking with the mayor and the mayor pro tem and the city council last Thursday. So they invited me to come and talk to them about what's happening with transit in Durham, what have we accomplished over the past year, and what can we look forward to in the year ahead. And so what I told them is that it is my privilege to represent nearly 90 city employees in the department and more than 200 GoDurham and Access transit workers supported by the city budget. Our mission in transportation is to provide and maintain a safe equitable, inclusive, and sustainable multimodal transportation system with high-quality infrastructure to improve mobility and to offer everyone in Durham access to necessities and opportunities. So as we look forward to the new fiscal year for us that will start in July, it's a good time to look back on what we've done in the 12 months since July of 2025 up through this month. And it's been another really exciting year for transit in Durham. In the first quarter, we awarded a new contract for operation and maintenance of the GoDurham Access system that operates ADA paratransit, GoDurham Connect microtransit, and senior shuttle, as well as other critical transportation services in Durham. During the pandemic, when we faced staffing shortages, our on-time performance suffered, with riders facing major delays as well as lengthy trips. We heard from our riders, our community, and from City Council that we needed to improve. So we took steps to incentivize recruitment, on-time performance, and customer satisfaction, and developed a request for proposals focused on performance and accountability. The highest ranked firm in our competition was We Drive You. And in addition to committing to ambitious targets for on-time performance and customer satisfaction, they offered to deploy new technologies like a mobile app and 24/7 call center to make it easier for customers to book or change their trips. We're already seeing the results with a 25% increase in trips, a 12% reduction in per trip cost, and with 35% of our reservations made via automated systems that are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In the second quarter, we hit critical milestones for the Better Bus Project improvements along the Holloway Street corridor, with federal approval for our environmental reviews for improvements along Holloway Street and Junction Road, as well as at the Village Transit Center. These approvals enable us to secure more than $12 million in federal grant funding and proceed with property acquisition and construction activities in the year ahead. But we're not waiting until next year to deliver improvements to riders on this corridor. In November 2025, we launched Durham's first 10-minute service along Holloway Street with 6 buses per hour in each direction between Durham Station and the Village. We also extended the 15-minute frequent service network to 20 miles in each direction, with 15-minute service end-to-end on Route 3. In response to input from riders about lengthy trip times, we also celebrated the launch of the Route 13 crosstown service to provide a direct link between some of our highest ridership destinations, the Village, Durham Tech, and North Carolina Central University. Riders in East Durham no longer need to travel through downtown to Durham Station, the West End, to then transfer and head back east to reach critical educational institutions. These service frequency improvements and the new crosstown route are made possible by funding from the Durham County Transit Plan. Our fleet modernization program took a giant leap forward in January as we added 15 new battery electric buses to the fleet, enabling us to boast that nearly 1/3 of our GoDurham fleet is zero emissions, 100% electric. A competitive grant award of $6 million from the Federal Transit Administration was announced in February that will further advance fleet modernization. And City Council in April approved the purchase of 10 new buses. Also in February, Council approved the initial design contracts for 2 maintenance facility projects to support fleet expansion for growing the frequent service network, 60-foot articulated buses for Bus Rapid Transit, BRT, and a new home to enable GoDurham access to deliver critical services for decades to come. Once again, I want to thank our Durham Transit partners at Durham County, the Triangle West Transportation Planning Organization, and Go Triangle for their support of the funding needed for design work to commence for those facilities. Now, if you think that those accomplishments are impressive, well, the North Carolina Public Transportation Association agrees with you. Naming GoDurham the Urban Transit System of the Year for 2026. Woo! I was so proud to hear the mayor's proclamation earlier this month and accept the award from the North Carolina Public Transportation Association on behalf of our small but mighty city transit staff, the nearly 200 bus operators, mechanics, service attendants, and supervisors who serve 20,000 GoDurham riders each day. While we take a moment to celebrate, we know that our brightest days lie ahead. And so we're getting to work on project development for the Central Durham Bus Rapid Transit Project. Central Durham BRT will connect transit critical neighborhoods in East Durham with jobs and essential services like healthcare in downtown Durham and at the Duke VA Medical Center. Once again, we express our appreciation to our Durham County Transit Plan partners for their support of Durham's first BRT project. So as we look ahead to 2027, the city budget that the city manager presented to City Council in May continues fare-free service on GoDurham and access through June of 2027. As I've discussed with City Council, in addition to the loss of fare revenue, we confront rising costs for personnel and equipment needed to deliver safe, reliable, and affordable transit in Durham. As we approach this budget cycle, we were looking at an $8.2 million shortfall in the city's FY 2027 transit budget. I want to express my appreciation for the support of our partners at Durham County and Go Triangle for working with us to enable $8.2 million in one-time assistance to balance this budget in FY 2027. The county manager and her staff in particular worked closely with city staff and other partners to identify capital project expenses that could be eligible for reimbursement through the Durham County Transit Plan. Together, we identified over $8 million to improve Durham's transit reliability and accessibility. We appreciate this one-time funding assistance, but as the city manager has said, addressing transit needs in 2028 and beyond will require serious discussions with our partners about potential changes to financial policies and governance structures to ensure a financially sustainable future for transit in Durham. So as we look ahead, we'll be expecting to receive that $8 million in one-time funding from the Durham County Transit Plan. We won't be getting, we're not anticipating any increase in funding from the state or federal governments. And we are planning on continuing to make Go Durham fare free through June of 2027. But we're going to have some difficult conversations about fares and costs as we move into 2028 and beyond. So we definitely face challenges with a structural deficit, increasing costs for fuel, bus purchases to replace vehicles that are beyond their useful life, and fewer competitive federal grant awards, as well as the likelihood that federal formula dollars for transit will not keep up with our rising costs. We will face difficult choices in the next budget cycle as we continue our fleet renewal program and build upon the success of North Carolina's best transit system. So that's my city update. It's the same one, just about word for word, that I gave to City Council, but I wanted for the folks here to be able to hear it as well, and to see where we've been, what we've accomplished, and then where we're headed. Who's next?
So thank you guys. Thank you for all of the speakers. At this time, we will open it up for questions or feedback.
So I noticed with the most recent changes in the increase in service on Route 4 with 4B, the frequency going outbound is indeed 15 minutes, but coming back, at least on the schedule, Route 4 is scheduled to get in here at 35:05 and 4B is 10:40. Or no, 25:50. One of them is with that. So they're off by, one of them is off by 5 minutes. So it's like a 20-10 type thing. And I just want to know if that's intentionally done, a typo in the schedule, or what?
This is Jenny, planning manager. So indeed, the Route 4 as it comes inbound, it is arriving on those staggered arrivals. That is by design in order to allow for as much transfer time here downtown as possible. But your point is well taken, and that's something that we can look at to make sure that inbound and outbound buses are spaced equally. Thank you for raising that.
We need to have a bus that goes out to both of the publics, the one in East Durham and North Durham.
Yeah, so there's a Publix on Ellis Road in the new development, and the route, Go Triangle now has a route that started in March that has a bus stop on Ellis Road. I think the schedule is downstairs if you need to pick that up. But there is also a Publix up on Latta and Guess Road, and we don't have service right now up there. So what we do have instead is Go Durham Connect. This is the microtransit service that is operated by Go Durham Access. You can use an app, you can call the dispatch to book a trip within that North Durham zone. You could ride the Route 1 up to the Harris Teeter on Horton and Guess, and then from there continue on with your Go Durham Connect trip. That is fare free as well.
Yeah, I'd like to see a bus stop over at Valley Springs Park because I'm in the Special Olympics and I do soccer with my Special Olympic team in Durham Parks and Recreation. I'd like to see a bus stop over at Valley Springs Park up near Riverside High School in the future. A bus stop over at Valley Springs Park. You know, it's at Carver and Coal Mill. I think it is. Thanks.
You know, let's see, this Rosasham Road where Riverside. I think, yeah, I'd like to see a bus stop over Valley Springs Park.
Good evening.
So that area might be part of the Durham Connect zone.
Yeah. Yeah, because, you know, sometimes, you know, I do Special Olympics and sometimes if you don't go to a basketball qualifier like at Riverside, you don't get to go like to Charlotte for the fall games or summer games that just ended in Special Olympics last, you know, weekend. That's why I want to see a bus stop at Valley Springs Park. You're right in front of there.
Good evening. I am a transplant. I've only been here for 2 years. But in the 2 years that I've been here, y'all have given me more gray hairs than my 7 children. And that's because I can't keep up with learning the schedules. I learn it 1 minute. I don't necessarily have to be in Durham for a week and come back, and there is a whole nother issue. And all I get from the lady that you call on the phone is, well, we just having some detours. Okay, I understand that, but detours all over the city every day on these bus routes and disrespect. You got the little signs up that tell us to be respectful to your drivers. I, as a 74-year-old woman, have already done my time. I'm about to put on an orange jumpsuit if I have one more of your drivers be disrespectful to me personally. And the people, I hear them on the bus short. I don't know, I need to ask the question. If I come to you and ask you a question and you don't know the answer, then please say, ma'am, I'm so sorry. But I'll try to find out or tell me where to go. Don't chop me. Don't chop me. I don't appreciate it. Then you change Route 9. We have to go to Duke Regional to connect to 6 and 4 just to go to the Roses or the Harris Teeter out there. They're not time connected. So we're stuck out there with all the drug addicts at home. I ain't got nothing against them, but that's the lifestyle. But I personally don't want you in my space begging me for everything you see or bag, in a bag, a cigarette or whatever. Because we have to wait. I know the traffic, I know the detours. It delays the buses so long that we are stuck up there with all of that. Duke Regional themselves have already said that they're working with y'all to change some stuff. That's how far I had to take this. Because the young man pulled the stuff out and started urinating right there at the tree. He didn't care that a 74-year-old woman was standing there. That's Route 9. Route 4 and Route 6 are never, ever on time. I don't know what in the world is going on these, but they're never on time. I'd like to know what those boxes are that you're putting on the bus stop are for. What are they for? So they can see at night?
Are you talking about the white things on top of the bus stop sign? Yeah, there's a button that's on the bus stop sign. If you press it at night, it lights up the area.
So yeah, so there are a number of bus stops that have a separate pole, and there's a button that you can press on the yellow box. On the top of it, at nighttime, when it senses that it's dark, it will illuminate, the area that you're standing on so that you can be seen and you can feel more safe because you're visible. In the daytime and at all times, it'll have a red box around the top of it, and that's for the bus operator to know that you are waiting and that they should stop. Yes, yes, and so you're not required to push it in order for the bus operators to stop for you, but. Yeah.
So I definitely hear your frustration about the detours. One of the things about Durham being such a welcoming city, we welcome people like you. When you arrived here 2 years ago, is that we're welcoming thousands of people every year to Durham. And so a lot of the construction that you're seeing around town is for us to build not just housing, but also grocery stores and all the things that we need because our population is growing so fast. And I agree with you. It's really frustrating when there's a detour and you get to a stop and then you see one of those signs that say temporarily out of service.
Just today, in getting to this meeting, I was on bus number 2. The young lady who was driving the bus got off and went into a restaurant. There we are sitting. She's already late. Not to use the restroom, but to come back out with food.
Well, I think that gets to some of the customer service issues that you were speaking to earlier. And so I'm going to hand it over to Ashley, and Ashley's going to talk about kind of what you should expect in terms of customer service, and then also what you should do when you receive poor customer service, because we want to hear about it.
Okay, so I'm Ashley Cole. I'm the general manager overseeing the fixed route service, and I want to say that I am also a transplant. So it's important to me that you guys experience the best customer service ever, actually. So coming from a perspective of someone that actually drove, and I grew up through the ranks, I 100% understand what you expect and what I expect for you guys to see. And so whenever you have those experiences, the disrespectful drivers or poor customer service, and operators delaying service for personal matters that are not associated with going to the restroom or just taking a break, should be reported through our customer service platform, because 0 tolerance. Not to go too far into it, I've only been here 3 months now. I won't go into it too far, but I will say this to you. I grew up on public transportation, riding the service with my grandmother, and it is very, 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 very important to me that every customer that boards every single bus has a pleasant experience. If you have a question, it's our job working in public service to provide you with the information that you need to help you get to and from your destination safely and as informed as possible. And if they don't know, they are instructed to get the information for you. And if you're here at the Durham Station and they don't have the information, we have customer service representatives that should be able to assist them, along with, dispatch support as well. So I encourage you guys to call this information in, and I'll get your information after the meeting so that we can follow up with you as well.
You mentioned about the buses being late, especially on the Route 4. We had noticed that as well, and the schedule changes that were made on Saturday were in part intended to address some of those issues. We added some more time to the Route 4, the Route 5, the Route 11, and 11B. So right before this meeting, I looked at how the buses were running yesterday, and all but the 10B were on time at their time points, more than 85% of the time. So that's all day long, and you might be experiencing in the afternoons some more delays, and that's something that we will continue to look at. We have a meeting next week to review how the new schedules are working in more detail, and we will continue to make some adjustments to the schedules in the fall in order to make the buses more reliable for you.
So you're gonna leave the 9, the 4, and the 6 as they are? We need to change this because.
So currently the Route 4, 6, and 9 are meeting at Duke Regional. That current route design is the current plan, yes. The one adjustment there is the Route 4 along with the 4B. Those buses will be running frequent. So starting last Saturday, we have a new route name called the 4B. And the reason we call it the 4B is because it doesn't go all the way to the end. It doesn't go all the way up to Milton and Tom Wilkinson Road. And so that 4B is intended to let you know as you're getting on the bus downtown that bus is only going part way up the Route 4. It does serve most of the Route 4, but there are some destinations north of Seven Oaks that you'll need to get on the bus that says Route 4 on the head side.
And I'll say that it's challenging for us. So Jenny and Matt and Ashley and others are looking at that on-time performance data. And so they're trying to say, all right, well, which routes need changes and adjustments? And then we implement those like we did on Saturday. But that gets to one of your earlier points, which is that we keep changing all the schedules. But we're not just changing the schedules for fun. We're changing the schedules because we've identified problems like the issues, especially in the afternoon on the Route 4. We were seeing that the buses were not reliable. And so what we're trying to do with those is strike that right balance of not letting a problem go unaddressed for too long. And then also, understanding that changes are disruptive to people's lives and schedules. So we're trying to strike that right balance. We're looking ahead. We've got a request in right now for to make that 4B service run all day from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So if the funding for that gets approved in the budget, there'll be another schedule change this fall. But that schedule change allows us to run that 15-minute service all day, 6 days a week. So when we're making schedule changes, we're doing it either because we want to add service, like that 15-minute all-day service on the 4 and 4B, or because we've found a reliability problem that requires us to make a change. And so we're going to continue to monitor. We only had a few days of experience with the changes that went into effect on Saturday, but that's what's driving